Today's video is mostly a negative one because Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos have what you could call a suspect CV when it comes to investment in sports teams. Some of you may know that Ineos owns Nice, owns Lausanne, a football club in Switzerland. They own 33% of the Mercedes Formula 1 team, and they have a cycling team, and they're trying to lead the British attempt at the America's Cup, and amongst other stuff. So that's their sporting portfolio, as well as a club in the Ivory Coast, which I didn't know. In recent times, we've seen stuff come out from Nice about, it's a joke. It's run like a joke. They aren't serious. There's no competition. There's no culture and environment to win. It's just a joke. That's effectively what Dante said about the ownership and behind the scenes. And you've got Dave Brailsford, who led the cycling team, which used to be called Team Sky, and they were one of the best teams, probably the best team, because they won 7 Tour de France's and a couple of Giro d'Italias and stuff. So those are the main cycling competitions, and they won that a lot. I guess Sir Jim thought, you know what, he seems to know how to run this team, so I'll bring him in to find the people to run Nice or something. So that's what he did. They did a clear out, I think, and look where they ended up. You brought a cycling person, a cycling man, into a football environment, and it hasn't worked out. Again, Nice have regressed under Ineos' ownership, under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. They've regressed big time. And United fans are upset because there's another thing. Nice are going to sell their best player to Liverpool. And people on Twitter, they're saying, you know what? You say you are a United fan, but you're selling your best player to United's arch nemesis, Liverpool. And you're selling him for maybe 30 something mil, 35 mil, something like that. So people are, I guess Sir Jim didn't have that many fans as compared to Sheikh Jassim, but he's not doing himself any favours, because people are going to look at that funny. A lot of people are tribalistic about football. They're going to look at that funny. They're going to be like, okay, you're strengthening our arch nemesis, but you claim to be a United fan and you want to buy Manchester United. So it's a massive contradiction. And then you have the fact that Nice is obviously nowhere near as big as Manchester United, and yet he's struggling to run that club efficiently and effectively, because they haven't done jack since he's owned the club. They haven't done anything. And for United fans, that should be a wake-up call, or at least an eye-opener, because if he can't run Nice, if he can't run them well, then how the heck does he think he can run Manchester United better? A much bigger club, meaning a much bigger crash down to earth and regression if things go wrong, So from that point of view, the Nice point of view, it's not looking good. Then we have the cycling team. Now, I do not watch cycling. I don't really care much for it. However, when Team Ineos bought Team Sky were one of the best. Like I alluded to earlier, they were one of the best. They won multiple Tour de France's. I don't know if Team Ineos have won a Tour de France since they bought the team, or any major cycling competition. I don't know. I don't do cycling. I don't watch it. So from that point of view, I guess it's a 50-50. I don't know if you watch cycling or if you've done research. Let me know if Team Ineos have won a major cycling competition such as the Tour de France or Giro d'Italia since they've bought it, because when it was Team Sky, they were successful. They were hated, but they were successful. On the Team Ineos, I have no idea what they're doing. Now we get into Formula 1. And me personally, I don't know about you guys watching, but I watch Formula 1. I've watched Formula 1 for a long time. And Ineos have a 33% stake in the Mercedes Formula 1 team. The other 66% is shared between Toto Wolff, who runs the team and has recently become a billionaire, and Daimler, who owned the Mercedes-Benz brand and company and whatnot. So he owns a third of that team. He bought it roughly 2020. Before that, Ineos were a sponsor. To me, the Ineos investment doesn't add anything to the team, because if you don't know, Mercedes between 2014 and 2021 won 8 consecutive Constructors' Championships. So they didn't need Ineos' investment at all. It's just a thing of Daimler were like, okay, you can foot some of the bill, that's fine. We can split the profits, but you can contribute to the costs and whatnot. And the other 33% for Toto Wolff was probably a case of rewarding him for running the team so well and making it successful. Look, there's a pattern here, at least with 2 of these teams, the cycling team and the Mercedes Formula 1 team. they were already successful. The cycling team, I don't know if they've continued to be successful because, like I said, I don't watch cycling. And the Mercedes Formula 1 team, they've declined. 2021, they won a Constructors' Championship, should have won the Drivers' Championship, but I won't go there. 2022, they fell off. They finished third in the championship. And this year, there's a bit of a resurgence, but they're not really back to that level. So, Ineos and Sir Jim buy into winning entities. And, you know, he doesn't know how to build something from the ground up. He doesn't know how to take something to the next level, like a Nice, to the next level. In fact, they've regressed. Mercedes have regressed. The cycling team, I don't know about them. The Mercedes one is a bit different because with or without Ineos's investment, they would have regressed anyway. Mercedes got the new rules wrong, so they've had to play catch up. For the Formula 1 team is basically just a glorified sponsorship because they own part of the team now and they have the logo on the car. Other than that, they don't really contribute anything that I know of. Mercedes do, however, the other way around. The Mercedes contribute some materials for the cycling team, or like their bikes and whatnot. So there's expertise there. I'm sure there's an exchange of knowledge somewhere along the lines, but as a whole, Mercedes did not need Ineos. You have Nice, Lausanne, who I mentioned earlier, who are in the second division of Swiss football. They finished second, so they were not promoted. You've got a club in Abidjan, who I don't know how they do in their league. You've got Team Ineos, who I don't know if they're successful, and Mercedes Formula 1 team, who have declined since Ineos bought into the team. Okay, so make of that what you will. My assessment of this is this guy and this company aren't really effective at owning sports entities. They're not. They're really not. And they buy into winning entities, or entities that have at least done something or shown some progression, if that makes sense, you know. Manchester United are already established. That will make it the third team, sports team, that they have acquired that are already established, and they don't really need to put in much work to improve. That's if they buy the team. So guys, let me know what you think, because Ineos is not a sure bet of Manchester United coming back. In fact, if anything, it may make things worse, because you already know Dave Brailsford is going to come in. He's a cycling man. He's going to come in, do a revamp of the whole club, probably hire the wrong people, have the wrong culture in there, and mess everything up. Let me know what you think. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.